Hi guys, alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is showing you guys how to repack your F-light, whether it's a cross country, whether it's a normal F-light. Eventually you're going to want to transport it on holiday or something like that, so it has to go back into the box. Now a lot of guys are asking me, how do you put it back in the box? How do you put the genie back into the bottle? And there's a problem because, alright, so when they put the F-light into the box, it is a bit high, or it protrudes a bit over the sides of the box, and so they can't zip it closed, doesn't quite want to fit. Now I'm going to show you the right way to do it, but I also want to mention something. The problems really started to come about when we introduced the Underseat reserve. You see, the F-light never came out with the Underseat reserve, it had the chest mounted reserve. And with the added size, now with the Underseat reserve, it's a bit higher off the bottom of the box, and therefore it doesn't fit quite so snug. Secondly, what I've noticed after asking the pilot some questions would be that they're using their older reserves. They bought a new machine, but they're still using their previous reserve. Some of these reserves are the Bi 50s or the Globe 130s, and the F-light was never designed. It's a lighter paramotor, so therefore you can get a lighter reserve, a smaller reserve to use your F-light with. Now you can argue with me about the fact that it's not as safe to use a smaller reserve, but I would say that the trend when it comes to these lightweight machines has been to use lighter forms of reserve, etc. So what we order, or what we supply the F-light with as a recommendation, would be the new Rescue. It's called the Rescue reserves, and you get them from Nirvana. They're not, I don't believe that they're on the eShop, but you can correct me on that. But if you request that, they are quite lightweight. The smallest one, called the medium, weighs in at 1 kilo, and I believe it's 100 squares. Now you are going to come down faster towards the earth. If you're going to be doing acro, as I said to one of my clients, if you're going to do acro and you're worried about falling on your ass, then it's probably better to, even if you use a lightweight one under your seat, then just carry another 130 on your chest as well, so you've got 2 reserves, and that would obviously save you or give you a softer ride down to the surface. Alright, so let's get back to how do you put the genie back into the bottle. First thing, if you're using one of these caps with the racing or it's an easier breather. I've given a lot of guys advice about using these little snorkels that you put onto an adapted cap. The reason why we use these on the cross-country machines is because some of the machines, and running at these higher RPMs, the machines kind of starve because they can't breathe well enough, and I've advised them to use these little snorkels. This will not fit into the box, so you've got to always keep your all traditional cap, fuel cap on the reserve fuel tank when you use the box. All right. Don't grip the unit by its exhaust. You put it in like that. So let the seat sink in, put the tank in, just putting it down softly. Moving the seat. Now here's the whole problem. If you put the machine down like that, it's most likely going to have the bottom, the upper side of the seat facing upwards, and your seat will never, or your machine will never fit if you do that. So what you got to do is you got to flip it around that the bottom of the seat is showing up towards the tank. You put it down and everything back into place. There we go. It's all about the position of the seat. You got to flip the seat back over so the bottom end of the harness is shown upwards towards the tank. Alright, just going to take the arch off. Don't constantly pick the machine up by the exhaust because you're going to damage the mountings. Don't take the bottom studs, or the bottom struts off the harness mounts. Just put them, flip them onto the side there. This you can put in any way you want. I'm not putting the frame and the propeller, everything into the box. I'm just simply showing you guys which is the best way to fit. So you're making sure that the seat is below the tank exactly. There's a little bit of a lip. It allows for a nice snug storage. These are the securing straps, and you can loosen them up. put them over there, tighten the machine into place for transport so it doesn't move around all that much. Just like that. Yeah, squeeze it nice and tight. Right, doesn't move around. Now here's the tip that I can give additionally to that. There's a zip here into what we call the tongue of the box. And what I do with mine is I've added some cardboard material. You can use whatever you want. Now if you put that in there, there's extra protection for the motor. And all you guys are basically worried about is, will the box close and will it give enough protection? So if the seat's in the right position, it will close no problem. There we go. Alright, everything back into the box. I hope that answers most of your questions about how do you get the machine back into the box. It shouldn't be that big a topic, but I've got to admit to the fact that even I struggled to put this thing back in. Once I realized my mistake was all about the seat and the position of the seat, it all came back together. If you've got any other questions, please let me know and I'll try and get back to you.